See what's going on. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on. Are we on? Are we on? Are we on? Are we on? Yes. I think I'm on. I think we're going. I think we're rocking and rolling. Um, Welcome back. I am Kep. X stayed the same. I did start a new Rumble YouTube page just exclusively for this because it was kind of going up on my own personal stuff, and um, I couldn't quite figure it out. So I said, "Fuck it, we'll just restart and be done with it." Right? I mean, what else can we do? So I'm just making sure all this shit's good up and going. It is. I am really fading like a mother for some weird reason. Wow, video quality sucks ass. Uh, and holy shit balls. Anyway, uh, paper up, we're rolling, rock and roll. Uh, I gotta have some kind of going in the background. Inspirational the way it is. Dang, don't ask why. Anyway, welcome back. I am Cap, Steve, whatever. Welcome to my channel. We will sit around and we can chat about anything and everything that's going on. I do kind of have a little bit of an agenda of what I want to do, but we can get off on any kind of tangents. One thing's for sure, I do love to laugh. Memes have been great. They've really brightened the fucking world. It's great. My lighting sucks or something. You know, kind of. Let's just shut this guy off and see how we fare from there. Feel like shit. Awesome. That's worse. We'll keep fucking with the lighting. I think it's time for new lighting in general. I think I've spilled some shit on this too many times and whatnot, but anyway, we are here. What's better? And welcome. Let's chat. I like to start shit out with funnies. I like to end shit with funnies. Because, I mean, God damn, I didn't even fucking do anything with my beard. We live in some pretty serious times. I mean, everybody throughout history has always thought that they lived through the worst of times, and relatively speaking, we do live in a lot better society now than having to worry about, getting to the age of 20 or even 30. So, I mean, when Social Security was wrote, it was, most people didn't make it past the age of 65, or your chances, it was right around there. But if you did, then you had a chance of living a very long life. I think it was actually like 62 and a half. If you could get past that threshold, you had a good chance of living till be about 80. But Social Security was banked on that you died before you even needed Social Security, like my mother did. Unfortunately, the only Social Security payout she got out of her lifetime of putting into it was the final death benefit of like $300. Granted, that was many years ago. So, but we do like the Babylon Bee is fucking hilarious. I love the Babylon Bee. They're usually spot on shit. I mean, when everybody else leaving California, why wouldn't it surprise you that the fucking mayor off their flag does too? So, Mitch McConnell, we've had some weird shit going on. We kind of talked about a Lindsey Graham dying. I did not have that on my bingo cards that he was going to die, but here we are. There was other shit that I'm going to talk about besides the main fucking topic. We must remember that Lindsey Graham was. I hate to put people down when they're dead. They have no right to defend themselves, able way to defend themselves. But he didn't like Trump to start off with. Obviously, they were running against each other. Then he jumped on the Trump train, and as soon as the election was over, he was immediately stabbing Trump in the back. We all witnessed it. It wasn't until Trump decided that he was going to run again that Lindsey Graham stepped back in and says, hey, I'm all in. So, it seems like his interests are Israel. That's not my interest. My interests are the United States. We were warned of getting into foreign trade issues and that in foreign affairs that we should probably stay out, but here we are again being the world's police, and Israel merging our governments or our militaries together is going to be oh god, that's good. That's going to be terrible. But I mean, whether you went to heaven or hell, that wasn't up to me. That was up to the Creator, God. Whether or not the conspiracies all add up, that's where I was at. Where was that? That's what I'm missing. I'm missing all that, or did I move it down? No, that's that. What? Oh my god, what the fuck did I do with it? Get to this. This was yesterday. We had federal agents outside the building. Got nothing on this, no volume. So here's federal agents outside going through the residence today. Now, why are they going through his residence? This is supposedly clear-cut case that he had a heart attack. Aortic valve more or less exploded. I mean, he was 71. That's kind of common. He was a little overweight and whatnot. Not very athletic, especially in his later life. Obviously, he's been a senator and that. Very fantastic story about him and his sister and whatnot. But did they kill him? Did they while he was in? Well, he was in Kiev because he just flew back. Did they kill him in Kiev? What, I mean, from what I gather, he went to a drone factory. That drone factory was destroyed after he was there. The hotel where he was staying was leveled, but it had NATO people there. The Russians hit that too. Did he die over there? And this is just a cover up? I mean, these are serious questions. I know Trump is pushing back on it. That's where I had, you know, he's pushed back against it. Not saying the Bureau's wasting their time. Well, Mr. Trump, as much as I'd like to trust the government and anybody that serves in the public interest and their untimely death while serving, whether or not this is an age thing or not, I still think that all this should be looked into. Doesn't matter if the person was in their 90s when they passed away or in their 20s when they passed away. I mean, you're serving the public interest. I mean, now if you had cancer and you were going through treatment and shit like that, I understand some of that to a point, but there still should be a clear-cut case of, okay, was this person taken out for knowing too much or trying to expose something? We don't have whistleblower protection in this country. It's something I know that our Senator Grassley's been pushing for decades, and I push for it too. I mean, I've been a victim of it. I've seen it. Have other people been victims to it? When you blow the whistle, you have no protection. You turn somebody in, the company turns around and fires you. Especially in Iowa with a right to work state, we don't have to have a reason to fire you. It's hard to get a wrongful termination suit in Iowa unless they give you a weird fucked up reason, and then you might have a case. But other than that, no. It's everything around it is just kind of weird. It goes back to the JFK murder. Assassination. That was handled very inappropriately. We still don't have all the answers to that. We never will have all those answers. Not in my lifetime. And shit, the guy was dead for 14 years before I was born. 13 and a half, something like that. So, I don't get where you would say just trust the process. I mean, you want to trust the process, say it's a waste of time, that's fine. But I want a total investigation. I want the fucking truth. Not that we're ever going to get to the truth. The government's too big. The government's way too fucking big to not have cover-ups, not have corruption. That's all this bureaucracy is just corruption. The government can run on far less people. Far less people. Especially in the age of computers and what they do. That takes away a lot of people's jobs right there. And we shouldn't be, the federal government shouldn't be the number one employer of the country. I don't think that they are, but it gets pretty close. Actually, I can look that up really fuck now. Whoops. Oh, man. I always use punctuation with even talking to AI because I just, I've watched too many Terminator movies. Yeah. Okay. So the federal government does employ the most employees, uh, about 3 million people. The next closest is Walmart with 1.6. Now, yeah, I get the federal government. You're going to include everybody, even your postal workers. I get, I get. Um, that's and your civilian workforce. My mom worked as a civilian for the Air Force as a secretary, so does include active duty military, which is not, which is about that's a good million, close to it. But we could still cut these numbers. 2.9 is really, really high. I think we can cut more. Even at local levels, they need to cut back. We've got too many administrator type roles that just are people to take up chairs, people to take up office space. Reasons why we need to add on to City Hall or acquire this building to move this aspect of the county or the city to there because we're overfilled here because we have too many. You got way too many chiefs, not enough Indians. If we want to, not a racist thing, but something I grew up with, and that's the fact, and that's the same way in schools too. The teacher to children ratio is misconstrued by the fact that all your administrators are teachers too. In a way, they count the administrators as teachers, that they're not teachers. So, this has a clip of it.
If I could also ask, are you aware of why the FBI is looking into Senator Graham's death? Have you gotten any updates on why they were at his home?
Well, I don't know why, because I think, he had a problem. His father had a very similar problem, as you know. It's very unique. At first I heard it was clogged arteries, because he did have clogged arteries. He had a problem with that. He was, I wish he took better care of himself. I say, you can solve that problem, but what happened is actually something that's very hard to detect. It was not related to any blockage. It was a totally different thing. And supposedly, and I've watched all the medical reports, I've had the doctors from the White House come in and explain what happened. And this is something that is almost undetectable.
Okay, and I get it. He's under stress. He just got back from a flight. Ukraine to Poland, Poland to the United States. That's stressful. Ride home. You finally unwinding and poof. I mean, the Widowmaker ones usually hit people, 2-3 o'clock in the morning. The massive ones. So, could it be attributed to travel? Of course. He just wish he took better care of himself, but
And if it happens, there's not much you can do about it. It sounds unfortunate, but there's not much you can do about it. If you look at his father died of the same thing at about the same age. So there was not much.
Really.
They say it's almost undetectable. You can detect it by if you have a very bad back. That's a sign. It's a bad sign. So if anybody has a bad back,
I have bad back. That's just because I've been working my ass off since I can fucking remember. I've been bruising my body since I could walk. I swear to God, there's not a part of my body that probably has not been skinned up and scarred at one point in time.
Conspiracy theories going along, and I don't think the FBI. I think the FBI is wasting their time if they're doing that.
Conspiracy theory, they're wasting their time. So whatever. I mean, should we move on? I don't know. I don't know. I can easily explain both sides. I can play devil's advocate both ways. That's one thing that makes me a little bit more unique as I try to play devil's advocate in a lot of things. And that's the reason why I've come up with my views personally. My wisdom over the years, sitting there, seen, not heard. You listen. You hear the old people talk, tell stories. Very, very interesting. But I don't know. You be the judge of this. I can't be the judge. I mean, I could be the judge, but I don't know. I don't know. Do I believe the government could do a cover up of this proportion and say there was? Yes. Yes. 100%. Could the government themselves have done it? Yes. 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 I forget if I talked about this before, but yes, with the heart attack gun back in 75, using a shellfish toxin in a frozen dart. Just enough to prick the skin. You die of a heart attack. Unless you're looking for that shellfish toxin, it'll look like you just had a fucking heart attack. They'll run a toxicology, but not for that toxin. That's Senator Frank Church right there. His hearings unveiled MK Ultra, the heart attack gun, and loads of other conspiracy things. You were just conspiracy theorists. Even up to about 10 years ago, people were still calling this MK Ultra is a real thing. Oh, no, you're a conspiracy theorist. There's a heart attack gun. No, you're a conspiracy theorist. No. This was from 1975. This was open hearings. This was covered on whatever CBS, NBC, whatever. The government can make people disappear. Plain and simple. We've been able to do this since 75. This is a weapon from 1975. What do we have now? What the fuck do we have now? And toxins that are even worse and even more undetectable. You synthesize this shellfish toxin to make it even harder to be traced. Change the chemical makeup of it just a little bit. This is some of our gains of function operations that Fauci was doing. You know, we got him dying. We've got Mitch McConnell showing up. All of a sudden, we got this photo of Mitch McConnell saying, "Oh, he's fine. His wife's back from China. Remember, he fell, had a heart attack, stroke, whatever. We don't know. He's taken to the hospital, and she takes off for China for a few days." Now this appears, and he's holding the newspaper, blah, 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 blah. Now Ron Johnson is saying that he heard from his source that it's an older photo. He doubts that McConnell's alive. I like Mr. Senator Ron Johnson. Strong man for you guys up there in Wisconsin. You guys need that. Milwaukee and Madison are killing you guys. The liberal scourge from Chicago has leached its way up the streets and crossed the border into Kenosha and Milwaukee and turned them into liberal hellholes. And now those are and even into Madison, where the University of Wisconsin's at. It's a college town, so most college towns are liberal as is, but between those two towns, they're controlling all of Wisconsin. Thankfully, you guys have been able to keep a Republican senator Ron Johnson in there, and he's a very smart guy, very digging in. He works with our senator from Iowa, but I really wish Grassley wasn't in there, but that's a different story. But I got a weird fucking shadow thing on my forehead, don't I? Darn it. I do. I do. I do. I need new lights. I need to do something with lights. Wow. Change. Damn. What this like? All I can do is keep trying. Yeah, it looks good on one screen, but the other screen looks like shite. So, I mean, our biggest concern too is we really need to get the Save America Act passed. It is an 80-20 issue across the country. And a big chunk of Democrats want this bill passed too. The lies out there are they're kind of backing off on it. No, it's not going to make it harder for you to vote. The only way it's going to make it anybody harder to vote is if you don't have a valid photo ID, which is very fucking racist on any liberal's part to think that a person of color can't get an ID. That is like the epitome of racism. You get Kathy Hochul talking over there in New York about how, some of these kids in the Bronx don't even know what a computer is. That's very ignorant for you to say. I watched a video. The kid went up. He went through California. I think it was in L.A. or something like that. Rodeo, Beverly Hills, whatever. He's asking everybody on the street, do you voter ID? That's racist. They can't get IDs. They can't get IDs. They can't get IDs. Then they go to Brooklyn, and they start asking every black person, "You got an ID?" Hell yeah, got to have an ID to get my cigarettes. I got to have an ID to get my beer. I need my ID to do this. I need my ID to do that. Well, here's what they say. They can't find the DMV. I know where the DMV. You go down 10 blocks down this way, you take a left on this street, go down another 30 blocks, and you're there. They all know where the DMV is to get an ID. It's very ignorant for you to assume that somebody's not smart enough to take care of themselves. That's the whole liberal party. They think you are too dumb to take care of yourself. What a conservative wants, especially a constitutional conservative like myself, is we want the government to leave us the fuck alone. We don't need people to keep coddling us, to keep holding us up. We don't need to be held up. It's a trick, but if you never want to leave your mama's tit, stay with the Democrat Party. Think that everybody's going to end up working there. Somebody else is going to work their life so you can live your fancy life. There was, I don't think I bookmarked it, or I did. No. Oh, damn. Where was that? Was that on the dot? Anyway, they're talking to the classroom. Said, what we're going to, you think socialism works? The teacher said, or the teacher's asking the students, and the students say yes. Okay, so socialism works, then everybody's going to get A's, nobody's going to fail. Okay, all right, we're going to give a test. So gives the test out, and we graded across the board, and everybody got 8s out of 10. The people that studied really hard and thought they did really well on that, kind of like, well, I studied really hard, but I know I got a 10, but now I'm only going to get an 8. But then you have the other kids at the other end of the spectrum saying, oh, that's great. I didn't have to study at all. I get an 8. I could have failed. I could have answered all 10 of those questions wrong, but I still get an 8. Works out good. So the next test comes around the next week. Administer it, and the results come back in, and everybody got a 6. Now they're only barely passing. Well, why is that? Well, of course, the kids on the lower spectrum that didn't want to study anyway, of course, they didn't study. They didn't answer any of the questions right. The kids that had spent a lot of time studying to make sure that they could get an A, to get that 10, decided, why should I put in all that effort when Jimmy over here is not doing anything? He's not putting any effort in. He gets a 0 and I'm getting a 10 and he still gets an 8. He gets more and I lose. So they go to the third test. The third test, they all get a 4. They've all failed. And that's socialism. Just because you think you're going to tax the rich are going to stop working. The workers are going to stop working. Why should I work? Why should I slave away 40 to 80 hours a week, sometimes more, depending on your job? Why should I waste all that time and only get half of what I worked for? Because somebody else is going to take at least the other half of my money, so they can live the same lifestyle that I'm living. I can't get ahead now. I cannot financially be wealthy at all. I will barely be able to pay my bills. I won't be able to own a house because with the interest and everything, I don't make enough money because I'm getting taxed because I got to pay for this other family to live, more or less. The worker's going to give up. Why should he put in the effort? He's going to go home and he's going to sit in his house and expect to get the same shit that the other guy was getting off of the worker's hard work. And you will run out of workers to the point where now the businesses themselves have to close, therefore closing to the government or a big corporation that the government is going to subsidize. And then make you go out and work for the greater good of the people. You will produce corn on this land. You will be processing this corn. You are going to make machines to process the corn. And now you have communism. It's a slippery slope. Everything in life is a slippery slope. Not to say that being progressive is a bad thing. But at a lot of times we got to stop and take a deep breath and see if these moves are going to move us forward in life or regression in life. Like Islam. Islam is just a regression of life, a regression from progressivism. The progressivism that I want to see is of a unity of the human kind. The only way to get to that way is through, yes, capitalism gets you that way, that far. It gets to the point where, and we're pretty much to this point now where, because our money means nothing. A dollar bill from 1913 to now is only worth like a fraction of a penny. It's not worth anything. It's a fiat currency. It's based off nothing. It collapses. It doesn't technically hurt anybody because it's not there. Same with your crypto coins. Crypto's a fiat system. Computers all break. What happens? Something happens and we cannot have access a computer again for decades, we'll say. What goods have in Bitcoin? Now you're back to, now do we have currency? Well, yeah, we need to go back to that. We need to back our currency. The currency needs to be backed by gold. Gold needs to be a lot higher than what it is. Gold's only at $4,000. Our gold right now is only priced at like $300 an ounce in the U.S. If we were to come off the gold standard, reprice gold price should be around $8,000 to $10,000 an ounce. Rebranding that brings our debt down by half just by going back to a gold standard. We're stupid though. We're stupid. I can get off. I mean, I'm reading the Communist Manifesto by Karl Marx, and it does make a lot of great points. But his points are kind of off by trying to start a new way, a new collective. Because it's not so much that the old ways become repetitive and going to new ways is not as good for the human psyche. I understand that. But the route he takes us leads to very, very poor conditions for the majority of the people. For 99.9% of the population, it sucks. It's the 1.1%. I'll give you 1%. We'll say 1% of the population is going to succeed, and 99% is going to fail. So, Amy Coney Barrett, she's been kind of a disappointment to us since Trump nominated her. We've always kind of wondered. There's been a lot of threats, especially under the Biden administration, on the Supreme Court justices. We had an assassination attempt where the guy was caught with a whole bunch of weapons trying to go to Kavanaugh's residence. Nothing has been done. Nothing. Here's another case where we don't have judges in the DC area that actually go by the Constitution and our laws written underneath the Constitution. And one is to be in protecting our judges and jurors. We have U.S. codes that have been broken. We don't have arrests. There should not be a single protest outside of a judge's home. It doesn't matter if that judge is the local magistrate or a Supreme Court justice like her, or Kavanaugh, or Thomas, Gorsuch. But she and I forget the other bitch that was with her. They testified in front of Congress.
So I thought I would just share a little bit about how the threats have affected me and my family personally. They have required me to, my children, to think about and see things that children should not have to see or think about. One example is when threats to my life were particularly intense a few years ago around the time of the Dobbs leak. My security detail sent me home with a bulletproof vest, and I carried it into my house, put it into my bedroom, dropped it down on a table, turned around, and my 12-year-old son was standing in the doorway of my bedroom, and he wanted to know what it was and why I had it. And I didn't know how to respond because maybe I lack imagination, but I didn't expect that performing this service was going to put me in the position of explaining to my children what a bulletproof vest was and why I had to wear one.
No, I 100% agree. I 100% agree. And this is the leftist rhetoric. This is the cultural revolution, the Marxist cultural revolution, that is going to get violent. It's going to get very violent. In my view, I'm an optimist too. I am a total fucking optimist. Try to look for the good in shit all the time, but I don't see where this does not get bloody. A lot has to do with passing the Save American Act. If we don't shore up our elections and make sure that it's just fucking citizens voting, we're fucked. Because the Democrats will rig these elections. Now, Trump's going to talk on Thursday. I'll probably be off by the time, or he might be on. If he's on the same time that we're on, we'll watch a stream of it and kind of talk with it. Supposedly, we are going to be talking about the election interference in Georgia, the 2020 election. This is a reason why. I mean, Democrats are accusing Trump of cheating. We've accused the Democrats of cheating. But we can't come to the solution of how to make our election secure. When one side wants to say that having an ID makes it racist, but yet 80% of the country says, 20% of the country says that having an ID is racist. 80% of the country says that having an ID is no big deal. We can show it to vote. 20% of our country is trying to run 100% of the country. Either way, either side that you run, you want a fair election. We've never had a fair election. Ever. 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 I'm not blaming 2020 as election, the only election fraud. No. I love numbers. I like seeing the stats on shit. Statistical anomalies do not happen in elections. The populace that does not happen. You can't tell me, you can't go out there and pick 1,000 random people, put them in a room, and have them all vote one way. There's no way. You couldn't even get it down to 10 people. 10 random people picked off the road, the streets, sidewalks. One of those. Not all 10 are going to agree. So to have ballot dumps of 100% to none, or some of them in Obama's election, that you would have like 500 votes counted in this county, and there's only 400 registered voters. I mean, it was bigger numbers than that, but little oddball things here and there. It you look at it just in a state or just in a county or whatever. Oh, a little bit here, they didn't do bad or whatever. We're close enough. Oh, a little bit, and a little bit, and a little bit, and a little bit. It's pretty much we have a snowball. But these lunatics, they want violence. There is law. And why the marshals, especially now that Trump is in control, why are these? She should not have any protesters in front of her house. Hopefully she doesn't. 18 U.S. Code 1503. Influence or injuring officer or jury generally. This is a primary broad statute covering the intimidation of judges as officers of the court. And it reads, whoever corruptly or by threats or force or by any threatening letter or communication endeavors to influence, intimidate, or impede any officer in or of any court of the United States in the discharge of his duty or injuries of such officer, an account of the performance of his official duties or corruptly by the threat or force by a threatening letter. It's a 10-year penalty. Intimidation, this has been tried before too. Intimidation, just protesting in front of their lawn is called intimidation. You don't have a First Amendment right to petition in front of a judge, because a judge is supposed to be impartial. A jury is supposed to be impartial. That's why the whole Derek Chauvin trial was a hoax. With the jury should have been sequestered the whole fucking time. That jury go in and out of the protests, that was jury tampering. That was the officials that drove them through violated this. I mean, that's judges. Physical demonstrations intended to, this is 1507, 18 U.S. Code. Whoever, with the intent of interfering with, obstructing, or impeding the administration of justice, or the intent of influencing any judge, juror, witness, or court officer in the discharge of his duty, pickets or parades in or near a building housing a court of the United States, or in or near a building or residence occupied or used by such judge, so that's her home, or with such intent uses any sound truck or similar device, or resorts to any demonstration in or near such building or residence, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 1 year or both. So it's a year. Okay, so that's only a year that they should be going to jail plus fines, just for picketing in front of a judge's home. And that implied, it says, the court of the United States. This is every judge. U.S. Code 1503. Officer in or of any court of the United States.
It's also been reported in the news that roughly 6 weeks ago, I was the victim of a swatting incident. At that point, my teenage son, one of my teenage sons, opened the door to go out with friends and saw in our street, it was full of police cars, who had responded to a false report of gunshots and raised voices in my home. I was very, very grateful that I had Supreme Court police outside my home, because they were able to stop and meet with and explain to the county police that it had been a false alarm, and so the police did not actually attempt to enter our home. Many of us, me included, have received threatening anonymous deliveries designed to intimidate and harass us. They are often sent in the name of Judge Salas's son, who I think, as you mentioned in the beginning, Mr. Chairman, is deceased because he was killed by a disgruntled lawyer who showed up at Judge Salas's home intending to kill her, but her son, 20 years old at the time, opened the door and took the bullet instead. Her husband, standing behind, was seriously injured. So I think the message on these deliveries being sent in his name is clear. as
It's
Justice Gibbons
intimidation.
said.
It's clear intimidation. Now is excuse me. Is this affecting her judgment now? Has this been affecting her judgment? Has it worked? I think it has. She clearly doesn't understand the Constitution anymore. Oh, somebody had that on here. Oh, we can just pull it up over here. We can see what the voting actually has been. Maybe. So I don't think I can. Whoa. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, hey, see. Still hasn't come up. You know what? Fuck you. Out of here. The Dobbs decision came out here. She voted more at a higher conservative rate, meaning she did not vote with, especially Clarence Thomas, all the time. Clarence and Alito are probably your most conservative judges that you're going to have on there right now. But since then, she's fallen. She's down to 50%. Her dissents, I don't think a lot of the dissents make a lot of sense, and I would like to read them. Clarence Thomas gave a dissent that was 91 pages long, and when he normally writes a dissent, it's only like a half a page. He wrote 91 pages. He was so pissed off about a freaking ruling. I think that was on the birthright citizenship one. Clearly, they fucked that up. But since that decision came out, and they've had to beef up security like no other, because evidently we can't arrest anybody. I mean, the packages should be getting picked off in the mail room where all the other packages go. We shouldn't be getting any of these packages hand delivered to justices, to congressmen, to the president, anybody. We should have a separate place where all mail and delivery go through that is a secure place that gets scanned. I mean, maybe we could stop fucking contraband going back and forth in through the Congress and that. Who knows? But it does kind of look like she has been intimidated. Oh, it's in the wrong button. Let's get back to normal. Oh, excuse me. Remember back when we could actually use the word retarded? I like the word retarded. I use the word retarded a lot. Everybody's fucking retarded. It is fucking retarded. Yeah. When they actually call themselves the National Association for Retarded Children, and it's actually the DNC. No. It's just kind of funny. Here's another take on Lindsey Graham, just real quick. His take is FBI takes control of Lindsey Graham's house for forensically to ensure nothing embarrassing escapes into public view. And that is more than likely. I mean, that dates back to Tesla. Was it 82 boxes that were supposedly in his flat, his apartment when he died? The FBI was there within hours of his death, took all the boxes, only returned 40 something boxes. There's like 40 boxes missing. Who was the person that went through all that material? Well, it was John Trump. I think his name was John. His Donald Trump's uncle, our president's uncle, who was an MIT scientist, worked for MIT. He was the one that looked at a lot of this stuff. A lot of this technology we use today is Tesla technology. Everything wireless is Tesla technology. Your electric cars is Tesla technology. All the electricity, everything runs off of, that was Tesla's backing, AC electricity. And we can go the Osprey, that beautiful looking helicopter plane that the Marine Corps uses. That was a Tesla idea. So, but yeah, that's more likely what's going on is they're trying to figure out. For some weird reason, it seems a lot of people without the clearance level tend to have above their clearance level paperwork at their homes. The only person that can transport a lot of the classified material around is the president. He's the only one that could take it to his home if he wants to take it down to Mar-a-Lago. He can take it down to Mar-a-Lago. Now, Vice President Vance, he has a whole bunch of sensitive documents he wants to take with him back to Ohio because he's going to go on a visit for a while. He's going to be there for a couple of weeks. He can't take that stuff. He's not privileged enough. Senators can't do it. So, all the stuff that Joe Biden had, he had sensitive documents as a senator that he wasn't supposed to have. It was stuff that only the president was supposed to have. So what does Lindsey Graham have? Yeah, the FBI is going to go through. That's part of what they're going through to get sensitive documents. Not that anybody's ever been charged with having that shit. It wasn't until they witch hunted Trump that we actually had anything like that. Oh my God, this fucking lighting sucks balls. If I just shut that off. My head is glossy. That explains it. Yeah, no, I did not know. It's gotta be in my camera settings. I can't access that right now because I'm using the camera. I don't. Oh wait. Has that been my problem the whole time? Huh. Maybe that's been my problem the whole fucking time. It's just. I don't know. I don't know if I access if that's gonna really fuck shit up. And now I'm just going to be gone. Because I think I am. Oh yeah. Yeah. So I just made myself disappear, guys. Sorry. Oh shit. I think that's been my problem the whole fucking time. Because I am just in the wrong fucking. That looks better. I don't think I look as glossy now. Now it's the end of everything. I want to kind of wrap shit up. Now we kind of got it, I guess. Yeah, it's still glossy. Oops. Oh, what the hell are you? Anyway, Tim Burchett's talking. We were talking about passing the Save American Act,
on the floor.
and it's been stalled in the Senate. The senators are just fucking brain dead. Lindsey Graham was supposedly he was going to make. We got the votes. We need 51 votes, 50 to 49. Even a 50-50 tie, we're going to pass it because we got Vance will do the tiebreaker. But another little trick they could do is just add it on. Since it's already passed the House, we're going to pass another bill. Well, okay, we're just going to attach these two bills together now. Now we kind of force the Senate to have to vote on it or veto out the bill.
Both are.
In which they'd have to vote on.
Look at them; they look very inconsequential, but they are actually important. The previous question is the first one, and then the rule. And the rule is they do that to it sets up the bill to vote on it. It can it's a procedural move, but it has to be done to get a bill of the stature that we're trying to get, and it attaches the SAVE Act to it. So in the press. So anyway, and those both passed. So thank y'all.
So it is now attached. Now it's heading to the Senate. Now, if they want to actually get rid of that, the SAVE Act, they have to vote on that and it's going to piss off a lot of constituents, even for the Democrats. It's going to piss off a lot more Democrat constituents because obviously most all of the Republicans are on board with it. Obviously, we've got some holdouts. Mitch McConnell, who's... Hey, Mitch! Hey, Mitch! Where you at, Mitch? But... obviously, he's not going to vote. I mean, at least Lindsey Graham's sister is in there. She's an interim thing. No, you fucking dumbass fucking lefties. This has nothing to do. There's nothing like the shit you pulled with fucking Kamala Harris, Joe Biden dropping out and installing Kamala Harris. This is not like the shit up in fucking Maine where the guy was fucking nominated in just like Joe Biden was and then drops out. Now you gotta do something else. You're gonna install somebody and the people again aren't gonna get to vote. No, this is just an interim thing. The people already voted. And the way the Senate works, it doesn't work this way in the House, but in the Senate it goes back to the governor of the state to appoint the person. Because it used to be that we did not elect our senators. Our senators were voted on by our Congress at our state level. We sent our best and brightest out of our Congress to represent us. And then we changed it to the vote. But in the contingency that somebody dies while in office or resigns, it is... goes back to the people that they can, being that there was coming up an election anyway, you just add an interim person. If it was going to be more than a year, yeah, they might still try to do an election this year for the last year of, which they did that down in Georgia. That's how, for the last 2 years, that's how I think Kelly Loeffler got in. She was only in there for like a year. Before the election happened. It happens. But less than a year, you put the interim in, the way it works. They did vote in California when Sonny Bono died. They did have a real quick snap election to fill his seat, and his wife won, and she ended up winning like 7 more after that. Sonny was a nice Republican too. So, but hopefully this can get past this. This will help save America. That's our only choice. It's our only hope. Like I said, I like funny ass shit. This one really fucking got me. Haven't heard much of Andrew Tate lately. I think he's been trying to keep his nose clean after all that and shit went down in Romania, which he's still at. But I don't know where he's at. I have no idea what the fuck's going on here. I just know that his shirt is, he's got different taste than I would wear, that's for sure. But what's funny,
the house has is they go second. You go first. It means that
there's a guy back here with no fucking head. He has no head. I mean, he's got hands. There's hands.
there is a strategy.
There's a hand. No fucking head. He's got no fucking head.
But there
He's
is
got a
a
hand.
strategy to blackjack. There is perfect mathematics.
Oh, they're playing black.
You play. You can get the house edge down to like 0.6%. The best game is in the house besides baccarat. Baccarat's only for the Chinese. So unless you're gonna have slanted eyes.
He's wrong on that. Actually, craps is where you make the best odds. The guy disturbs me. He's still back here.
So you gotta look at the card they have showing. You gotta look at your card. And you have to decide if you hit the stick.
I don't care what he's talking about.
Unless you're Chinese.
Or for you, Nigel, try to get 22. If you can. If you land like
They show this guy again. Come on. Where is he at? He's got hands. Oh, no head. No fucking head. Oh, then he lost a hand too.
Advantage that the house
How?
has is they
Wait.
go second. You go first.
What the fuck's going on? The dude has no head. I know this is a funny, and to me it's really funny because I do work on cars and or have a majority of my life, and I've packed wheel bearings before with wheel bearing grease, and
Pro tip, if you ever want
this
your
is
brakes
just
to stop
hilarious.
squeaking, just put some wheel bearing grease on the rotors. Pro tip, if you ever want your brakes to stop squeaking, just put some wheel bearing grease on the
Yes,
rotors.
just put the wheel bearing grease right on that rotor. It'll get rid of all that squeaking. And I guess we'll end this. This JoJo from Jersey, she's a dumb fucking cunt. Nothing good comes out of her fucking mouth, but she's talking about transgender people in America will have the same many rights as guns do. Well, yeah, you can cut your dick off, but I can't saw the barrel off my shotgun. Wouldn't do it for my rifle anyway, and my shotgun already has a shorter barrel. I fired sawed-off shotguns. They suck. But, I mean, the Second Amendment's the most regulated amendment out of everything. There's so many gun laws. You have so many rights as a human. You don't have to push your transgenderism shit on us. We don't care. Don't make me play make-believe in your world. I don't care. I just got done working at a place where we had a transgender there. You could definitely tell when it was that time of the month because this dude got really, really bitchy. Really awkward. Really fucking awkward. But, we'll leave it there. We'll be back on Thursday. Check me out too. I'll be on what the fuck is that? Twitch. I'm playing some Minecraft and shit. We'll chat if I get some people in with that. I'll do that and everything except for X. Be on my Rumble, be on YouTube. It'll be on Twitch. But Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, 7 o'clock on X and the other platforms except for Twitch. Just gonna switch it up. This is not for Twitch. I don't care about Twitch. I'd like to get some people off of Twitch watching me play some just fucking around playing Minecraft to get to come over here where we can actually have better discussions and have more fun. I much rather chit chat than sit here and play a game. I mean, I could sit here and play the game too. I mean, I've got it right here. I have plenty of class going. I have this little house here, and I have a fucking cow in it. There's a fucking cow in my house. Just so you know. Just so you know. That's how that's going. But keep the grease off your brakes. Make sure your brakes are in good shape too. Always make sure your brakes are in good shape. And we'll talk to you on Thursday at 7 o'clock. And we'll God bless you and have a great rest of your evening, day, whatever. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right?